Hey, good morning. This is my drive right from the house. I'm through the bridge and this is the scene. I try to open my eyes to all of the blessings that I have every day. Of course, it's not easy because it seems like as human beings we tend to take for granted those things that we have and think only of those things that we want. And so this is an exercise in solitude, I think. It's paradise living where we are, but the paradise, I think, is in our minds, not out there. Out there it does nothing. It does nothing if you don't accept it. And so I'm really trying to look at things anew, even as I am making a video, which I know sounds like a contradiction of terms. It's a fairly early morning from what we've been used to. Just lately, Beth and I have been trying to reduce the stressful part of what we do, and it's not easy because you get used to being on a treadmill. Remember that old example? You put the mouse on the treadmill, it keeps running and it keeps running and will run until it dies, because it's a treadmill and it just goes round and round. And really our lives are like that. Very recently we got a ballot buy-in box from our friend Paul in Australia, and Paul is a very perceptive, intuitive man. He sends things which he knows we probably need, and in this particular case today I'm playing one of the CDs that he sent to me. The thing about me traveling in the car, in the truck alone, is that I get to play the music that I want. One of the proofs of opposites attract is in music, because all of the music that I really love is playing now. Not just choral music, which is playing now, not just classical music, which of course is playing now. I just enjoy a different kind of music. When I played some of the things that I like to Bibi and Teleklik, they listened for a moment in silence, and then Bibi said, "Ah yes, ballerina music." So no point in trying to explain to them that the kind of music that I was trying to get them to listen to was the kind of music which, if it played in a movie where it was accompanied by, or to the accompaniment of, images, then they would think very differently. I never used to see birds when I first came here. It seemed like they were absent. Sorry for the rocking about. It seemed like they were absent. I don't know why. I see them more now. And to my surprise, when I was waiting for Beth the other day, I saw hummingbirds. And I would never have dreamed that there would be hummingbirds here. Why I would think that, I really don't know. Coming to a blind bend. This is the only place on our road where it's a huge outcropping of rock. So they've gone round it. to make the road. So my being in the truck means that I can create a sense of calm and enjoy some peace. I'll have to reinstate that piece of music because I like it. So that's one of the other things. As I said, I can appreciate my own music, but the atmosphere inside the truck is so quiet. There's nothing playing right now. The very start of that piece of music is quite slow and low in volume. So I'm turning that up a little. So I'm thinking that I must find, I'll have to research it online and find out what kind of food or what kind of situation hummingbirds would like. I would love to see hummingbirds up at the house. Hummingbirds are incredible because they beat their wings at something like 300, was it 300 a minute? No. Must be more than that. They beat in both directions. That's why they can hover like a helicopter. See, but the raptor is very quiet. Inside, very, very quiet. And with a nice, it's a nice stereo that's inside, a nice sound system, so it really is ideal for taking a moment to oneself and ideal for listening to music. Perhaps the two go together. It's a great irony to me that when Beth and I first started our channel, we really excuse me, we really didn't think that anybody would be interested in our simple life, but we decided that we would do what we thought was fun, and well, if nobody liked it, well, we'd just be satisfied with having fun. Well, the way that it turned out, because we were leading, once again, a life which we took for granted and which was quite idyllic. And when we first arrived to live with Nanai, she lived in a tiny house which for some 48 years had been enough for her. Oh, now here's the dogs, marauding dogs. Packs of dogs roamed the Philippine province. So when we arrived, it was back 50 years. The only modern appliance, the only modern appliance was electricity. We finally got electricity. Now, I took a picture of Nanai at the kitchen sink. As time went by, we were able to afford to buy a pump and have it installed at the well. Up to that time, we had been walking down to the well. We had 2 wells, still have 2 wells, but one we don't use anymore. The clean water well is the one that we have our pump hooked up to, and it pumps water up to the 2 barrels that are outside the red house, and then gravity feed takes the water back to Nanai's house and to the red house and the extension. So that was life then, fetching water from the well. Plus we used to walk maybe an eighth, maybe a quarter mile, probably a quarter mile, to the other well. And the other well was one, just an open hole in the ground. I had to be the one who suggested that we should have a little shelter built by the well so that we were not just standing on some stones, which we had. And we used to go down there every day, Beth and I, and we would bathe by the well, Filipino style, with at least some of our clothes on. When I first went there, of course, there's nothing. It's a well that is close to all of the rice fields, so I don't know, I knew no better. I just took my clothes off and Beth was horrified. She said, put your clothes back on. You don't take all your clothes off in the Philippines when you bathe. I guess she thought that someone might be lurking around ready to take a photograph and put it on Facebook. Of course, that never happened. So, what did we... Wow, look at that, we've actually played that CD again. Well, we're almost at the end of the road down to the National Highway. But we started and we didn't think that anybody would be interested. And it turned out that that's what they were interested. And so, oh, this piece of music now is what Charlie Chaplin used to do his heart-rending, poignant movies. I'm trying to keep that low so my voice isn't drowned out. So we brought the water up. We had electricity installed, and of course, as you may know if you've followed the videos, we eventually built another house for Nanay. I had my big ideas, my big Western, my foreigner ideas for what the house should be like for Nanay. She told us that she wanted the half and half, 5 courses of hollow block, and then the rest in a wood frame clad by a Macon, and that's what we gave her. But I thought that I could do a big family room with an American style kitchen and breakfast bar, and the thing Nanay quickly got rid of that idea. She hung a washing line for the clean laundry across the middle of the nice big living room that we built. So that wised me up about the way that things are. Things very much are according to the way that hilltop farmers live, because that's Beth's family is a family of hilltop farmers. They live high. I call them hilltop farmers. They think of where we live as being in the mountains. So we're surrounded by hundreds of square miles of mountains, rolling hills as I see them, all around us. It was only when the typhoon came through and took down so much of the vegetation that we actually saw how many other people live dotted around us, and we can only see them just by the rooftops. That's all. So I'm almost boy, this is a particularly bad part of the road, hence the movement. We're almost there now, so this will be a fairly short video. I really just wanted to share the solitude the solitude that any foreigner will find and have to come to terms with when he comes to the Philippines. There's an enforced solitude, which some might see as isolation, some might see as loneliness. But being alone is not the same as experiencing loneliness. But you have to be able to be self-contained. You have to find your peace in your inner resources, and of course the sense of peace that we may enjoy has always been internal. Some of these things which come home to you when you come here will all be only enjoyed if you decide that everything comes from you. You are the foreigner. So when you come, you are the foreigner. The Philippines is not going to change, nor would you want it. And now I've got my usual trial of patience because the road is blocked again. So I'll wait patiently. I'll give a little toot. No, I won't need to. They'll know. What we're looking at is quite a big business of a very wealthy man that owns the bottom of the road. And the bottom of the road is on the right. There is a huge place for keeping rice, is what I think. And on the left hand side, which you can see a tiny bit of the blue, well, I don't know what he keeps in there. He suffered quite a bit of damage when the typhoon came through, most of which he has repaired. Now, I do notice that all of this obstruction and eventual moving, it's all handled without anger, without irritation. So I maintain that. And as much as I want to say, what the f, I don't do that. Now I'll work it however he wants to. I think he's going to back up. He's going to leave me a tiny little space to get through, and then wonder why I don't take it. Maybe he's going to back out to the road and let me through. So good time to end off. Thanks for being with me.